Welcome to the Microscopists, a bite-sized bio podcast, hosted by Peter O'Toole, sponsored by Zeiss Microscopy.
Today on the Microscopists, I'm joined by Elisa May. She tells me about how she came in charge of an incredible 13 core facilities and explains how a critical grant proposal rejection got overturned to help get these institutes funded. She also shares why she never realised her dream of becoming an African explorer. This and more on this episode of the Microscopists. Hi, I'm Peter O'Toole from the University of York. Today on the Microscopists, my special guest is Elisa May from DKFZ, which Elisa, what does that stand for?
Deutsches Krebsforschungszentrum, German Cancer Research Center.
Which is, I believe, one of the biggest research centers in Germany.
Even in Europe, I think one of the top 5 in the world, cancer research centers. So quite a nice place to work.
So it's a big deal.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't think I've spoken to you since you started your role. And let's kick off, actually. So your title is Chief Enabling Technology Officer.
Yeah.
What does that do?
So I'm in charge of the core facilities of the institute, not of all of them, but of most of them. So it's grown. It's now 13 different core facilities.
What are they? What's the 13? Can you name the 13?
All 13? Okay, I can do that. So start with light microscopy, of course, because of my background, then electron microscopy. Then we have small animal imaging, genomics, microarrays, antibodies, cellular tools, flow cytometry, a biorepository, which is a new one, a large biorepository. And then we have, proteomics. I forgot proteomics. We have a single cell open lab, which is also our spatial omics core facility. And then we have 2 facilities which we operate in collaboration, one with University of Heidelberg, this is the metabolomics, and one with EMBL, which is chemical biology.
Okay, that's bigger than my place. That's not surprising.
I don't know how big your place is, but it's big, yes.
Yeah, well, it's not surprising, being as you are one of the biggest research centres in Europe. I think I've only got 6.
Cancer research centres, you should say.
Yeah. So day to day, you're just overseeing the heads or the leads of these facilities?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, well, they are independent leaders of facilities. And I would say this position was created new when I applied to a newly created position, basically. Yeah. So there was no CTO, CETO before I came. And so I had to invent this position a little bit. So how to go forward with the mission of bringing these facilities together, harmonizing processes, also putting in place workflows for procurement, for instance, finances, recharging system. All these issues were not yet in place or only partially in place. So it was a vision of the management board to have an overall strategy for the infrastructure, and this is the job of the CETO.
So you have a recharge system. You're in an institute. So how does a recharge system work within a sort of core funded institute?
Oh, this is a very difficult topic. I don't know if I want to do
at top level
charging in the podcast.
At top level, how does it work?
Well, there are some facilities who have a recharging system, some don't. So this is what we are working on currently and since some time. Yeah. But it's, that's the internal recharging system. Yeah. You know that system very well. So that's about charging fees to the users and giving users the funds to be able to buy or pay for the services.
No, I think it's healthy. I think it's good.
It's very good. Yeah, of course, it's very good. It creates transparency. It creates accountability, and but not easy to implement, let's say, yeah.
And how nicely do the labs play together, the different facilities? Do they play nicely together?
I would say yes. It's very, it's collaborative, it's friendly, it's open. You know, the different facilities were created over time, over many years, and DKFZ started quite early with facilities compared to other institutes in Germany and to universities in particular. And so the spectrum is quite broad. There are young people, young for facility leaders, and facility leaders who are at DKFZ since maybe 25 years. So there is a whole generation,
Yeah.
and so you have a mixed situation, so to say. And I think they go along very well. But as an example, before I came, they didn't have a team meeting. So this is something that I introduced, and we are now meeting regularly. And then all of a sudden they discover they have the same issues, and they fight with the same things when it's about finding a new technician or whatever problems are around. They learn from each other, and I think they see the benefit, and I think that's nice.
We should talk after or at Elmi because
we can, of course, yeah.
There's a lot of information I'd like to tips and tricks between us, I think.
Yeah, good.
So I bet you when you started your scientific career, you never dreamt of being in the position you're in today.
No.
So I'm going to take you. Let's walk backwards. So your previous role.
Previous role, yeah.
Yeah. So what was your previous role?
Pardon?
So your previous role was also heading facilities, wasn't it?
I was heading the light microscopy facility at University of Constance. So basically, I can really connect to the people I'm now supervising because I was in the exactly same role for many, many years. And so it was University of Constance is not a huge university. So the BioImaging Center was a facility with around, let's say, 50, 70, something like that users, And that's now the facility that is here, the light microscopy, has 600 users. So just there's a different dimensions,
Yeah, I told you we were bigger than us. That's 3 times more than we have. So I remember some of our early discussions, and I bet you don't remember these. I saw you in a core facility perspective, but you also had an academic role.
Yes.
So you weren't just a core facility head. You were also doing your own research and getting your own grants, using the lab as a user. How did you balance those two? Because they're conflicting roles in a way.
Yes, they are, in fact. And well, I have to say, so this was also my own biography, so to say. No, I was at University of Constance as a postdoc at the beginning, and then I became something like a staff scientist. I was in charge of the confocal for the group I was in, and I also enjoyed showing people how to do microscopy, and then this concept of the core facility came up, and it was quite early days also in terms of German landscape of core facilities. And
so what year was that?
Let's say maybe it was early 2000s.
Okay.
I think we found it in the end. We started with the imaging facilities officially 2008.
Yep.
But of course, it was already a couple of years before that we started thinking about that solution, and it was the first facility at the University of Constance. So the classical facility. There was a shared lab in the physics department. But what we know nowadays as a core facility, there was none of that around. And this was one. On the other hand, of course, I wanted to go ahead with my research. So I had, as you said, my grants, and at a certain point, also the department the head of department, Luigi Nicotera, left Constance. He went to UK, so the department became vacant, and I stepped in as a kind of deputy, yeah. And so I managed the department. It was a small department, but it was molecular toxicology. I managed it for about 2 years or so, 2.5, until the successor was was recruited. So and in that time, I also applied for own grants to keep on my work, to get on with my work. So I tried to really balance these two roles while building up the facility on one side and going on with my research. And I think it was feasible as long as both parts were small. You know, that you can cope with that if you have that. We started the facility with one microscope basically, and I had 2 PhDs, something like that. Yeah. So it was okay, and I had a technician. So and it was also fun because I could combine it quite well. But yeah, I have to say I got quite fond of the facility idea, and it was also quite successful. So it kept growing and growing and growing. And in the, of course, so what was suitable for Constance, yeah. So as I said, when I left, we were about 70 users. So, but also already at that time, when we had, I don't know, how many microscopes did we have? I don't remember, maybe around 8, 9, something like that. Yeah. By that time, I also had hired a kind of another staff scientist for the facility. But anyway, when one of these parts becomes bigger, then it's difficult to balance. Yeah, you have a limited amount of time, and this is something that I realized, and that I think it's one of the lessons that I learned. Yeah, that's. And whenever I am asked if it's good to have research in a core facility, of course I am very supportive, but I'm also very well aware of the challenges and the risks, and how you should do that to make it sustainable. Yeah, because in the end I faced the situation where my research was not sustainable any longer. Yeah.
I think you're right. So we have research alongside the core facility, which is very much aligned with the technology, though,
Yeah.
and always in collaboration with someone else who can keep a
Exactly.
better driven side to it. Because I think the primary role when you're looking after a facility and heading it is that's your primary job.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
that's a responsibility to all the other academics
Yes.
and their outputs.
Exactly.
And
Yes.
you can't compromise all of those over your own.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
But it's interesting. You kind of evolved into it then.
Yes.
So never desired, just evolved into that
But this
post.
is the case for many colleagues of mine, I would say.
Mm.
So people, yeah, people
Yeah,
like in my generation, so to say, they evolved into this core facility role, and yeah.
well, same here. You
And
know, well,
it's
core
different.
facilities didn't exist, did they?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
we could
And
never
it's
aspire
yeah,
to it.
yeah, yeah. And it's different now. Now we have core facility management and leadership courses, where we one of those we even were one of the first putting that up with German BioImaging, and there is a professional role for, and it's also so these roles are quite sought for, I would say, these positions. Yeah, there is yeah.
Yeah, so in the UK, there's a drive to promote these career paths and
Yes.
to see them and to show a different career path for people.
Yeah.
I think the recognition is better, so the
Yes.
salaries, the retention, all that is now a lot better. And
Yes.
York is, I would say, exceptional. Other places are catching up. But to tease the postdocs coming through that this is a great career path, we are rarer than academic posts. There's
Mhm.
fewer of us than academic research groups. It's almost harder to get a job in a core facility than in a
Yeah.
research lab.
Yes. Yeah.
And, I think we have wonderful jobs. I think the core facility, they're wonderful jobs, but I don't know. It's hard. And so there's yourself there. I'm thinking about previous guests around this very topic. So Timo Zimmerman,
Yeah.
Stefan de Jong, Alison North, Kurt Anderson,
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
We're all a similar age
Yeah.
and we're blocking the key posts,
Maybe. Yeah.
you know, and it's interesting. So we'll both meet at Elmi,
Yeah.
and I've been running with Stefan and Timo, and we say, we all know each other. We were a
Yeah.
good network because we started together.
Yes.
New people coming in haven't got that same network. It's harder for them to network, and their career progressions are kind of being blocked in a way because the big posts in 10 years' time, they're going to be happy because
Yeah. Yeah.
10 years we'll all be moving
Yeah.
on.
I don't know if I fully agree to that because, on the other hand, when we started, there were very, very few positions.
Mhm.
So, I mean, we created those and we made them out of, yeah, there was nothing before, as you said. But if I look here around and also the
Yeah.
universities, so there's a lot has been happening. So at least in Germany, with the German research councils, there have been programs have been created, positions have been created. And now you can really advertise this position really as core facility positions, staff positions. So there is, of course, we are now somehow at the top, and we will leave sooner or later, yeah. And then people can progress and apply. But I think there are more opportunities now than there were before because these structures have established as themselves as regular structures in universities and institutions.
It is true. If you look at how big Elmi is now, and we
Yeah.
have the facility meetings in January, and just, there's 100 people turn up,
Yeah, yeah,
and that's not everyone, just all in the core facility industry. And the core facilities are bigger. As you said, you started with one, then got two members of staff, then ended up with six
yeah, yeah,
instruments or seven, eight,
yeah. But
nine.
pretty the same with you, or isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. The imaging team now is 10, I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
Oh, but don't forget, I cover flow, LM, and EM.
Okay.
But there's 10 just within that team, and then obviously the wider team
Mhm.
is now 31.
Yeah.
Staff. And if I look back, we were less than 20
Yeah,
at the inception as a
yeah.
whole. And my own lab was B plus one.
Yeah, yeah. It's been an interesting journey. I have to say, I'm really happy that I could. Something really happened in the research landscape, you can say, at least in Germany. So this was very interesting.
Yeah, and UK, I think also it's a frugal way, it's an efficient way.
Mm.
You maximize your impact.
Yeah,
Uh, and if you think about the cost of the microscopes now, what, €1 million?
yeah,
You
yeah,
can't put that into everyone's
yeah,
labs.
yeah, yeah,
You need to put it in a shared resource so it's
yeah,
always utilized and
yeah,
maximize the impacts.
yeah,
And the expertise now, actually, the expertise levels, even when we started,
yeah.
I think the expertise levels now need to be even greater.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It gets more specialized and yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's no longer saying you can train a postdoc to do so much.
Yeah,
You need the experts in there.
yeah.
What would you say is the biggest challenge of managing the infrastructure?
Here at DKFZ or in general?
So, in general,
Hmm.
what's the biggest daily challenge?
I think maybe um, I still find a challenge which is still present and is the fact that, as we have said, people, the heads of core facilities, they are academics. Yeah, they are trained as academics, and the core facility is something like a small business.
Hmm.
And I think this we have to become better in this business mindset in core facilities. We have to sell our services and to and this also goes in terms. So one aspect of this is, of course, putting numbers behind 1 hour of confocal microscopy, which as a postdoc or a PhD, you don't even know that this does make any sense. Yeah. So yeah, and I think this is one challenge. I say that we should tackle. Yeah. It's not easy, but for instance, as an example, yeah, you probably know that we initiated this leadership and management course for core facilities from German BioImaging, and from the beginning we had a business module in that course exactly because of this reason. Yeah.
So let's move on then. German BioImaging.
Yeah.
You were the founding chairwoman
Yes.
of German BioImaging.
Yes.
How did that come together? I can't imagine the politics behind getting that set up and getting it off the ground. God, tell us about some of the ins and outs, and
Yeah.
I think there must have been enthusiasm for it.
Yes, yes, yes. So I always tell this anecdote of about me being at ELMI. Oh no, it was not ELMI. It was in New York. It was a small meeting called by DFG and about new technologies. And I don't know why it was in New York. Anyway, at a certain point, I was standing at the hotel lobby beside the guy from the German Research Foundation, so DFG, and he approached me. We didn't know each other. We just introduced each other, and he told me, "Oh, you're from the core facility." He was looking for a list of people in core facilities in Germany, because the German Research Council was realizing that they were funding instruments and maybe two confocals in the same building on different floors, and they had no real overview of what. No? And there were some core facilities, but a few, so they wanted to have a kind of overview, and he asked me about if I could compile a list of my colleagues, yeah, more or less. And yeah, and I said, of course, I can try. And I did this together with Roland Nitschke, whom you know also very well, who was even better connected, and we were better networked than me, because he was doing the core facility in Freiburg already many years when I started. Yeah. And yeah, that was more or less the birth of German bioimaging, I would say. Yeah, because with this Excel, I kept this Excel file now because it was the very first kind of collection of names of people in Germany who were doing imaging. And then from then it went on, and at a certain point, and I would have to say we would never got so far without this help from the German Research Council. They were very interested in having a better, so more efficient use of the equipment they were funding, and yeah. So at a certain point, they created also a funding instrument, because yeah, we compiled that list, and then we said, okay, but from here we can't do anything more, because we are in our jobs, we can't do networking very much, and maybe call meetings and organize. So please give us some funding. But there was no funding instruments. So and there was also this point about connecting to Eurobioimaging, which was also very, very important. These things led to the German Research Council creating 2 or 3 funding lines for infrastructure for core facilities. One of these was for networks, for scientific networks. So we wrote a grant for creating a network of German imaging core facilities. And what is also an interesting anecdote is that this grant got bad reviews from the review. So they basically did not recommend it for funding. So the review didn't went well. So the grant was dismissed more or less by the review panel. But then all these grants, they have to go through the joint committee of the German Research Council, which is also, the top committee of the German Research Council. In that session of the joint committee voted against the vote of the reviewer panel. This happens really rarely. Yeah. So this was very interesting. I remember I got a call from the guy from DFG saying the grant got through. The joint committee voted differently from the reviewer. So we got the money, and from there then it was good. So then we could hire a person, and we could start doing activities, job shadowing, website, all the things that you need to build up a network.
I'm still mind blown that it got bad reviews conceptually, but maybe how it's written, I don't know. But then for the senior panel to overrule the panel that was set to assess them, that is that a first?
It was, I don't know. It happens a few times, but it's an exception, of course. And I think it tells you also something about the situation or the landscape. So how the understanding was at that time. It was around 2010, 11, something like that. So as we said, there were not a lot of core facilities around. There were these networks, scientific networks were mainly like scientific societies, yeah, like, I don't know, biophysical society, or where the PIs come together, discuss the science, and so, and it's difficult then I think it was difficult to find, maybe the review panel didn't really understand what we wanted to do, and didn't see the benefit, of course, otherwise they would have recommended that. And because now, and from there, after that, I think this program about networks was quite successful. So there was an NMR network I know about, and in Dresden there was a local network. So it was a good instrument. It wasn't used after that, but the start was difficult.
Which I'm going to ask a quick question, which I don't know if I know what my answer is to this. What do you think is the number one skill you need to succeed in this role and your chairperson? What is your number one skill that makes it so successful?
Number one skill.
I've never asked someone that before.
Maybe it's something very generic, but I think it's a passion about passion about your goal. So and applied to that situation, or to that task, so to say, it's really also a drive to change things. Yeah.
I think that's a good answer.
I don't know.
I think that's a good answer. No, that's cool. Okay, I'm going to change tack a bit.
Yeah.
If I take you back to your childhood,
to my childhood,
your childhood, to when you were, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 10 years of age, can you remember the very first job that you wanted to do?
I remember that. I wanted to be, maybe I was 12, something like that, but I wanted to be an explorer, go to Africa and go to explore the African the jungle. How do you call it in English? So I know you're the
jungle.
Yeah, exactly. To do like wildlife and go in unknown territory. This was something that fascinated me.
You've gone into the micro jungle instead of the macro jungle. And if you think about it from a microscopy side. So what happened to that dream?
Sometimes I think at a certain point I realized that it was of course very fantastic. Yeah, I don't know, I was reading books about the forest and the animals and all these flora and fauna that is there, and this was but it seems to me, it looks like, also going back and reflecting, that I have a kind of, I tend to attract things that have not been done before by other people. I don't know why, yeah, and it's not that I'm actively looking for that, but somehow, so yeah, it's a kind of recurring theme. So I built up the first facility in Constance. I was the first one in that role, so to say. Then German BioImaging was also some very first thing that we did in Germany, and I'm the first CETO at DKFZ. So I don't know. It just looks like I attract these kind of things.
It's quite nice because it means you haven't got you haven't got anything to follow. You can develop your own career.
Yeah.
Go that way,
yeah.
which is quite nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what was your degree? Was it a biochemistry degree, your first degree?
Yes, yeah. I'm a biochemist.
Why biochemistry then?
While I was in high school, I really developed a crush for biochemistry. At that time, it was really the days, of metabolism and the Krebs cycle and then the respiratory chain, and it was fantastic. I remember I was studying that nights and day, and yeah, it was when I was at and so I then, and then it was possible to study biochemistry in Germany, which wasn't possible in Italy, where I was brought up, where I grew up, and so and then I think something that yeah, so I did this biochemistry, and then there was this opportunity to do a year kind of hospitation at the Max Planck Institute of Martinsried in Munich. So I was there for a year, and then I did there my master's thesis and my PhD. And with the PhD, I came first in contact with photons, and it was more because I worked on a archaebacterial photoreceptor, and I was doing molecular biology, but I was in an environment where we talked about quantum efficiencies and photocycles and lifetimes and all these things, and so it was then when I then what did the next step, then I felt quite good to be the microscope felt quite somehow.
So what was your first microscope?
It was Leica. No, it was the Biorad. No, it was the Leica. One of the first, all the first Leica confocal. I don't remember the the one with all these knobs. You remember that?
They still have the knobs, don't they, at the front?
Okay, they still have it. Okay, yeah.
You need to get back in the lab.
Yeah.
You don't like microscopy lab. You need to go and pop your head through the door if they've got because they've still got their little knobs in front of them.
Okay.
I'm sure they have. I'm fairly sure they have.
We have an SP8 now. It arrived maybe 3 or 4 months ago. I will go check. Yeah.
We've got Zeiss, so I can't comment, but I'm fairly sure.
Okay.
Go around to the facilities, you see them.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was your first microscope. Well, they don't do biochemistry in Italy, or didn't do biochemistry.
There was, yes, you could do biochemistry. You could do it either. You had to get a biology degree or a MD, and then you could do biochemistry. But what in Germany there was a possibility to do biochemistry as a full degree, as a standalone degree, so to say. It was not possible, and in Germany at those times, I think there were 3 universities offering that, just 3.
Wow. Yeah, no. Yeah. So my degree is biochemistry, but I had most research intensive universities had biochemistry degrees as an offer, I think.
So
I know
at that time it wasn't.
Oh, I'm just thinking my brother did biochemistry as well as a degree. The only reason I did it.
So you were enrolled in a biochemistry
degree. Yeah.
Okay, so this was not existing not in Italy and in Germany, just maybe 3 universities, and one was very far north, and the other one I don't remember, and then I chose Tübingen because it was the closest.
Really. I didn't really. I guess because in the UK it's been there. I know my brother's.
Okay.
He won't listen to this, so it's fine. He's a fair bit older than I am. But yeah, he did his first degree in biochemistry as well. It is the best degree though, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Actually, if you look at the number of imaging core heads, a lot of them are biochemists.
Yeah. When I heard several times that people are scared of biochemistry. It's strange, yeah. So they think it's too difficult. But don't know why.
So I asked you what you wanted to be when you were 10. You took 11, 12, 13. It was an explorer.
Yeah.
If you could do any job in the world, not your current job, just for a day or a week, just to sample what it's like to do that type of job, what would you like to be for a day or a week of your life to experience?
So as a skilled person or as a kind of very
even if you shadowed
experience. Pardon?
Even if you shadowed that post to get a feel for what it's really like.
I think I would like to be an actor in theater.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, I love to go to the theater. I really love it, and yeah.
So what sort of acting? What sort of role? What sort of things do you go and see?
Serious. I mean, serious in the sense like so. I no. not a musical and not a kind of comedy, but really, the classic theater. Yes, like, I don't know. Ibsen is very sad, but you could say,
What is your
Brecht,
favorite?
or this is, yeah. What's my favorite?
Yeah, what's your favorite show?
If it's a good, if it's a good, how to say it in Inszenierung, how do you say that in Germany? So German, if it's a very good director, and because you can, I mean, in theater you can have the same play, and you can have it very different interpretations, and there are very, very modern interpretations that I don't like. But if
Okay.
you have a relative good traditional classic interpretation, I like Faust very much. So Goethe, and yeah.
Okay, so good time to come on to some quick fire questions then.
Yeah,
Are you an early bird or night owl?
I am a night timer. Yeah,
Yeah.
very much. Yes.
So does that mean you're really bad in the morning?
Yeah, yeah. So
P
yeah. Yeah.
PC or Mac?
Pardon? PC or
PC
Mac?
or Mac?
PC.
PC?
Yes.
McDonald's or Burger King?
Ooh. Neither. Neither.
That face says everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So,
Oh,
but if I
what?
have to, then I would say Burger King. But I would rather be hungry, I guess.
So what is your favorite fast food
Fast
takeaway?
food.
Hmm.
My favorite fast food. Wrap. Wraps.
Okay.
Salad
Yeah,
wrap.
wraps. Good answer. What's your favorite food?
Hmm.
If you're taking out somewhere nice or someone's to cook for you, what is your favorite food?
The aubergine alla parmigiana of my mom.
Ah, okay. And can you cook that as well now?
Yes, I can, yes. But hers is simply different.
And do you have anything you really don't like to eat?
Oh, I don't like, I don't know how to call it in English. Everything which comes from the inside of the cow. I mean, not the normal meat, but there are,
It's awful.
yes.
Yeah.
So the gut, pieces of the gut, or even piece, or even brain is cooked in
Yeah.
some Italian dishes. I don't know if it's the same in
So
England, but
you're not keen on haggis?
pardon?
Scottish haggis. You
No,
wouldn't
no,
go for
no.
haggis.
Okay, okay.
It's in a cow's stomach
Okay. Yeah, yeah, no, no, no,
and it's
exactly.
got brain and
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, no, 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 no.
Or used to, maybe not now, but
Okay.
used to have that. Coffee or tea?
Coffee,
Beer or wine?
beer.
Oh, okay.
It's strange, yeah. Maybe it was wine earlier, but I mean, I think I really my epigenome is really very German. Meanwhile, like after living so long in Germany,
Mhm.
so
Chocolate or cheese?
what was the first one? Cheese or
Chocolate or cheese?
chocolate? Chocolate,
Milk or dark?
milk or dark? What?
Dark chocolate, so heavy dark,
Chocolate, milk or dark chocolate? Yes. Yeah.
dark chocolate. Wash up or cook?
Wash up or cook. So washing the dishes, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have the washing machine. So
Maybe the technologist. And so,
yeah, but
do you enjoy cooking?
yes, I do. I like, and I have no time, but now I have no time at all. But when I was in contact, I had a bit more time. The kids were at home, so that's and I liked cooking. Yeah, and
And
I just recently told my son, when I retire, I think I will start cooking again.
what would you say would be your signature dish if you had time to cook?
You know, insalata russa? No, no. Russian salad.
Okay.
It's a mixture, so it's potato and vegetables, and with a lot of mayonnaise, and yeah, it's also something that I learned from my mom, and I do it at Christmas, and yeah, family likes it.
Book or TV?
Oh, so I would say book, but TV is just, yeah. sometimes necessary.
So is that late at night to shut off, or?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. Now with the series, we know with this TV series, it's easy and it's tempting, yeah, because it's just maybe 45 minutes and
Yeah.
yeah. And there are very, very good shows now, I think, also. Yeah.
Do you have any TV vice, any really trash TV that you actually quite enjoy watching?
Trash TV, no, I don't. I'm quite sensible. I hate trash TV. So I really need good acting. If there's bad acting, I just switched off. I don't like it.
So back into a drama. So you're very much into a drama, then
Yeah.
very
So,
much along with your theatre. So it's more the
yes, I
dramas.
like good acting. Yeah, so that's yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite film? Favorite
Ooh,
movie?
um, it's also an Italian film. It's also got an Oscar. It's A Beautiful Life. From Benigni.
Yep.
Yeah,
And do you have a favorite Christmas film?
Christmas film.
Yeah.
I don't know any Christmas film.
You must have watched some with your children.
Christmas film. Hmm.
Ah, don't worry.
I
Star
don't
Wars or
remember
Star
now
Trek?
any specific Christmas film.
That's okay. Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Trek. I was a Trekkie for some time in my life. Yes. Yeah. I have books. I have the biography of William
Oh
Shatner and things
gosh,
like
a
yeah.
proper Trekkie, full on Trekkie. What sort of music do you like listening to?
Um, the good old 80s, because this reminds me of my young years, and
Okay.
classic music.
Favorite color?
Blue.
See, your microscopy days are so far behind you. You should have said GFP or
Uh,
P if it's blue, or and you said blue, not
yes.
DAPI. Come
Yeah.
on,
Yeah.
microscopy days.
Disappointing. Yes. Yeah.
Do you miss not being in the lab?
Um, I don't think I miss, let's say like this. I think I would be a catastrophe in the lab nowadays.
Yeah.
So this is therefore I can't miss it because I know I would do so it would be horrible for the people working with me. But I miss knowing exactly what is going on on a certain thing, in a certain, you know, in a specific area, really knowing at this level you have to fight your imposter syndrome because you have to oversee so many different things. You can't really be expert in any of this. Yeah, it's
Yeah, that's a good point. I think I miss not knowing all the users. I
not
used
good.
to know, yeah, I used to really like knowing all the users and what they were wanting to get out of the
Yeah,
microscopes or the
yeah.
cytometers.
This was yeah. This I
I
think
miss,
yeah. I can connect. I can relate to that. Yeah, and also the fun of seeing that you help them, and you have a good idea, and then they progress or they advance in their research thanks to your input. Yeah,
I, I, yeah, I still have a couple of students postdoc, so
yeah,
I still get some
yeah,
some excitement out of that side.
yeah.
Actually, summer studentships, we have internships and studentships. Summer studentships this year were just amazing.
Mm.
I'm always happy going into work, but I was excited to get into work to see them because they were so enthusiastic and doing so much, and it was
Yeah,
kind of stuff we wanted to know the answers to.
yeah.
Ah, they were
But this you see this. I'm so far away from that now. Yeah, this
yeah.
is because yeah.
But yeah, most of the time I don't get to see that. I only
Mm.
get to see the problems.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, you're in quite a high role where you are at the moment, very senior role. But do you have any future aspirations? Would you like to go beyond it?
No, I think so. I'm really thankful that I could that I can do this, be in this new role, and finish my career with this role. And and I have plans for now and for the next couple of years, where I see that I really can contribute here to DKFZ. But I'm really looking forward spending more time with my two very lovely granddaughters, which I really missed.
Now that sounds cool. Are they close by? Do they live close by?
No, yeah. It's really an interesting point that as a grandmother, I'm facing the same kind of conflict that I had to struggle with as a mother and the scientist, because they are in Italy, I'm here, and I'm busy, and yeah.
So when you retire, will you move back to Italy?
I don't know, but I will be much more flexible. So my husband recently retired, and he's spending half of his time with the kids. Yeah, that's nice.
Which means that means half the time you're home alone.
I'm home alone anyway, because I'm here. So our home is still in Constance. So the family, the logistics center is still in Constance. Yeah. So I'm here. I'm living here during the week, and I commute, and
How are you finding that?
tiring. Yeah. So
Are you enjoying it?
if I enjoy it,
Yeah.
it's mixed feelings, because I realize that I think being here alone is necessary for the type of job that I have to do. I couldn't do the job with, yes, exactly. If
You can be focused
kids
and
at home, yes, yeah. So I can concentrate on the job during the week. And once in a while, I have also to rest at the weekend and not travel. And yeah, so I enjoy the job, and I enjoy also going home and then be with family, or with whatever part of the family is at that particular moment in Constance, because we are moving around a lot.
Are you going 3 days at home or just 2 days at the weekend?
I go usually I go every second week on Thursday, so that I have 3 days every second week.
Yeah. And do you go back the other weeks for 2 days?
The other week I stay here in the weekend. So I started commuting every weekend, but it's too much. I thought yeah.
What is my ignorance, what is the distance between the
That's 3 hours by car if you drive late at night.
Yeah.
And the train connections are not so good. So
I missed a quick fire question.
yeah.
Italy or Germany?
I knew that you would ask that. I didn't find the answer. Ah.
I can see the Italian in you.
Yeah. I think Italy, it is still Italy in my heart, but the Italy the Italy as it is now, it's not the Italy that I knew and that I remember when I left. So there is a disconnect when I go back. But this, I think, is the usual issue of the people of these people who migrate, that then you leave something behind, but you don't find it back if you are away for a certain time.
And you left at a romantic time where your eyes will always look back with rose-tinted glasses, and you probably weren't aware of the full realities of, because we were you're young at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What would you say has been the best time in your career?
The best time was my PhD. It was in the Max Planck Institute of Biochemistry was a great place to be. I met my husband there. We were working hard, and we were enthusiastic about being in the lab and all these bonding with the other PhD. You also make friendships for a lifetime, and yeah, it was great. Munich was a fantastic place to be. Yeah.
And what about on the flip side to that? What's been the most difficult time of your career?
I think it was starting back, going back to work with the small kids. This was tough, and I was more or less I wouldn't say I was a single mother, but my husband, so we moved from Munich together, and we had the kids in the north of Germany, And then I got an offer from Constance, and we decided that I would take that. So I moved with the kids to Constance, but my husband was still in the north of Germany. So he commuted for many, many years. And during the week, I was alone with the kids. So we had some help, but still. And also I switched. I think this was also something I would never recommend, because I was working in archaeobacterial photobiology, the PhD. Then I got the kids at exactly the wrong time. I finished my PhD, then the kids came, and then I had to start from scratch again. So I would never recommend that. So if you start a family, try to start it when you are still in academia, and then try to get some continuity, yes, and not have a break. And it was lucky that I could start again, but it was difficult, because then I switched to cell biology and toxicology. I'd never seen a clean bench before. So, yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So
That's
I think
quite awesome that you did it. That's quite awesome that you did it and succeeded at that point. But I'm going to flip it.
Yeah.
You've got grandchildren now. If you'd have waited longer, that they might not be.
Yeah. No, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you're still young to enjoy and to have more
Yeah.
time and more energy with them.
Yes. Everything worked out fine. It worked out fine in the end, I would say. Yeah. Without a lot of planning. Yeah. I mean, you have to take chances and try to maneuver through these challenges, but it's okay.
So you have a lot of time now. I know you're working a lot, but you got the weekends, you got the evenings and stuff. What hobbies do you have?
I try to stay to do some sports, because this is important. I sort of and then I read and I walk. Yeah. So here in Heidelberg, I discovered these woods. Yeah. So I was more a kind of, I mean, I grew up at the sea, yeah, in Genova, and I always liked also very much the mountains. But this kind of intermediate thing I didn't know, and I discovered it here in Heidelberg, and it's I like to walk in the woods, and yeah, this I would say my
And
hobby. And of course, it takes a lot. So and the big hobby is connecting with family. Yeah, so I still have an 86-year-old mother whom I talk to daily, and then two kids, the husband, and so on. So.
And you said sports?
Yeah, sports is just very simple, like fitness, a bit of. I love skiing. I did a lot of skiing, but it was not in the last years. We couldn't, and I think skiing is probably disappearing as a sport now, because we have no snow. Yeah.
Changing tack again.
Yeah.
You're now leading lots of different facilities. What do you think is the most exciting technology area?
At the moment?
Yeah.
I think this, the spatial omics revolution, at least for cancer biology, is really, and also for just thinking in terms of diagnostics and therapy. So really unraveling the complexity, the spatial complexity of tumors is going to bring the field a big.
Actually, thinking about, I might have missed it when you rattled off your 13 different facilities. Do you have a data science, bioinformatic team that helps actually crunch? Because it's hard, because the spatial omics isn't just RNA, it's spatial matching, spatial lipidomics, your high phenotyping. So you've got all these modalities coming together.
Yeah. This is not under my responsibility. Yeah, so we have an IT core facility, and there are very outstanding data scientists, as DKFZ. There is a whole topic called digital oncology, and it's very much evolving. So it's very, very busy. Yeah, so there are different initiatives, and it's so I would say we don't have a structured support infrastructure. So for the omics, for the multi-omics area, so to say. Yeah. So but it's something that we are building up, and it is evolving. Yes. We are focusing on the data management aspects of that. Yeah. And this is also something that spun out from German BioImaging. We are we have set up, or we are part of a consortium or a consortium in the National Research Data Infrastructure. And this is now led by my successor with German BioImaging, with Stephanie, that you know probably also very well, yeah. And yeah, we are doing a lot with the OME, and so there is a lot of things going on in that area, yeah.
Okay, I've got just a couple more questions because our time is nearly up.
Yeah.
Would you say you've got any specific inspirations during your career? Any standouts that you know that have motivated you or inspired you in any particular way?
Yeah, so my supervisor in Constance, who helped me do my habilitation, you know, this degree in Germany, which you actually need or also not need a lot any longer for an academic career. So Alexander Bürkle, he really helped me, and he was instrumental for funding setting up the core facility in the first place. Yeah, so there had to be a faculty decision, and he really supported that. So this was absolutely important. And in a certain, also his predecessor in the Department of Molecular Toxicology, so Pierluigi Nicotera, he was the one who gave me the possibility to go back to science and to research, because I was 2 years or 2.5 years from my PhD. I had a family gap, so to say, and I was coming from a totally different field, but he hired me and said, yeah, and gave me the chance to start again in science, and this was really good. Yeah, very thankful for that.
And your children, have
Yeah.
they followed in your footsteps, or have they gone completely different paths?
A bit, I would say. My son, yes, he studied biology first as a first 3 years degree, and then he had another degree in philosophy. So it's also a bit this combination of humanities and which I didn't pursue, but which I was always interested in. And then now he did a master in computer science, and he's now doing a PhD in computer vision. So he's writing his papers. So he's in this academic field, and we can exchange about. My daughter is an MD, and she's now at home with the 2 small kids. Yeah.
So they have followed in the science footsteps.
Yeah, I would say yes.
Yeah. And both very successful by the sounds. So you must be quite proud.
I'm absolutely very, very proud. Yeah. And it's
I wonder
interesting.
how much.
Yeah.
I wonder how much you've inspired them through them watching you and motivated by how you work and just seeing that way of operating.
Yeah, I probably the work ethics, yes, but neither of them wanted to be in a lab, in a wet lab. So because I remember I took them with me, and then they were used to pipette water into Eppendorf cups and so on. But and I think they were a bit scared by me going nights in the lab, or this irregular thing, and also being not knowing if the contract will be prolonged or not, all these issues there. So yeah, but
and there's another big change is the more permanency in facility jobs and having careers now instead of contract to contract.
Yes.
Which brings us full circle back to the start.
Yeah.
One final question.
Yeah.
What's your favorite conference?
Oh, yeah, the trends in microscopy, of course, from German BioImaging. This
More than LME.
Yeah. Have you been there? I mean, I would say ELMI is the second one, but I mean, trends in microscopy is incredible. You have to come. I mean, this is the conference we created that from scratch. We are just, it's a kind of microscopy boot camp in the Swabian Alp, in an ancient resort. It's really amazing. It has an incredible spirit.
Keep selling it. Keep selling it.
No, I don't need to sell it. We were booked out I'm really absolutely enthusiastic. I think it's one of the best products of German bioimaging.
That's a good shout out from that
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
But on that note, I will see you at Elmi very shortly.
Yeah. I look forward. Yeah.
Now, Eliza, thank you so much for joining me today. Everyone who's
Yeah.
listened, thank you. Please don't forget to subscribe to the various channels. Please go and watch again Timo, Stefan, other core leads, very similar to Eliza and the career path. But I think the exceptional thing here is just how high Eliza has got. Very similar to Spencer Short in many ways, of getting right up to the top table within infrastructures and within research institutes. Eliza, your career is quite amazing. And
Thank
thank you
you.
for taking your time today.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. Thank you, Pete. And see you soon. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll see you soon.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to The Microscopists, a bite-sized bio podcast sponsored by Zeiss Microscopy. To view all audio and video recordings from this series, please visit bitesizebio.com/the-microscopists.